Thanks for watching County Report this week. I'm Susan Kennedy. Here in Montgomery County Public Schools, we have 7 police officers in high schools and more than 200 school resource officers stationed throughout the county. There are locked doors and security cameras, but in light of recent events in our nation, some are asking if it's enough to keep county school children safe. At a recent forum, Police Chief Tom Manger assured residents his department would do its part to protect our students.
Because I think we do need to increase the number of school resource officers here and around the country, but here in Montgomery County, because I will tell you that there was a time a few years ago when we had a school resource officer in every one of our high schools, but with the cuts that we had to make in our budget, we now don't have a police officer in every one of our high schools. I talked to the county executive last week. He and I both agree we need to start getting back to where we were. And in fact, and I've talked to Dr. Starr about the school resource officer program, and he and I believe that there are things we can do to refine the program, to make it better, that will not only be better for our schools, it'll be better, it'll create a safer learning environment for our students. And that's the purpose of the school resource officer program, by the way, is to create a safe learning environment for our schools.
Councilmember Valerie Irvin's work towards increased funding for school meals has paid off. Governor Martin O'Malley has recommended $1.8 million be added to the state's budget for the Maryland Meals for Achievement program. It's a program that provides free breakfast for all students in schools that qualify. Councilmember Irvin says proper nutrition is critical not only to the students' health, but their classroom performance as well.
I have never been so excited and thrilled about my job here as a council member as I was when we got that news. Because what we essentially did was we did the smart thing. We engaged a lot of our colleagues in Prince George's County and in Montgomery County who are in the delegation of both counties, and we got 100% participation on a letter that went to the governor along with Share Our Strength. And we all feel so excited about being policymakers around the issue of children and childhood hunger in the state of Maryland. And this is something we can do something about.
After 6 months of intense training, a group of new police officers graduated from the Public Safety Training Academy. Lorna Virgili has the details about the solemn ceremony. Lorna?
Susan, it was sort of a quiet ceremony, but at the end, over 25 police officers from Montgomery County, the city of Gaithersburg, and the sheriff's office are ready to serve.
And bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland.
And bear true allegiance to the state of Maryland.
And support the Constitution.
Since July 17th of last year, they have been academically and physically tested. Now, they have sworn their commitment to serve and protect.
As you move forward throughout your career, I urge you not to forget your primary mission, to protect life and property, while treating all people with respect and dignity. Your respective departments operate with pride, with integrity, with honor, and commitment to our community.
The messages during the ceremony included a reminder that courage and sensitivity go hand in hand to be a good police officer. Also, Montgomery County Police Department Chief Tom Manger reminisced about his own graduation 36 years ago, but highlighting how different the roles of the new officers will be today.
The senseless murders of young school children started 3 simultaneous conversations. Conversations about school safety, conversations about gun control, and conversations about better dealing with people who have mental health issues. As new police officers, you've now become involved in all 3 of those conversations. Every parent expects that in a life-threatening situation, you would put yourself in harm's way to protect a child from danger. Your training over the past 6 months has prepared you for this awesome responsibility. It's your duty to protect members of the public and keep our community safe.
The challenge of their job will be to protect life and property while reducing danger and staying safe in the line of duty. In Gaithersburg, Lorna Virgili, for County Report This Week.
Recently, County Executive Leggett was spotted at the entrance of the Giant at Wheaton Westfield Plaza. Leggett was asking shoppers who entered the supermarket to purchase and donate a can of non-perishable food for the Manna Food Center. The executive took part of the organization's food drive, and in a period of an hour, 2 shopping carts were filled with donations. Manna serves approximately 30,000 county residents on a monthly basis. More than 30 years ago, a group of stakeholders held a conference on the future of agriculture around Sugarloaf Mountain. Their work resulted in the creation of Montgomery County's 100,000-acre agricultural reserve. In January, a much larger group assembled to map out the future of agriculture in our region. More than 200 participants, farmers and representatives from various agencies, were at the universities at Shady Grove for a 2-day conference on farming at Metro's Edge, all with the common goal of developing ideas to keep agriculture alive in this populous region.
You know, I think this is a great opportunity that we can flesh out some of the issues that farmers deal with that are onerous to us. There's regulations and zoning issues that we're constantly either defending ourselves from or trying to push for. So this is an opportunity to let more of the general public know some of the challenges that farmers are facing, especially in an increasing urban area that we're living in.
There's a large cross-section of people, a lot of farmers, and Montgomery still has a lot of farmers. Frederick has many more. And then there are people who are interested in conservation of the environment. And there are people who are interested in the cultural and historical resources that are available in the agricultural areas of our counties, which really reflect much of the cultural history of Maryland. So all of these people are interested in the protection of farming and farm communities.
I like the topic of this session, why do we do what we do? And I found myself sometimes pondering that question, why do I do this? So.
Participants at the conference spoke of economic and environmental demands and of how being a farmer in Montgomery County can be challenging.
The Ag Reserve, a lot of people's image is, oh, this is really pretty. But you have to understand that to keep these farms active and operating and keep the owners there that are doing that, they have to make money doing it.
I farm about 1,000 acres, and you know we run big machinery and make noise and dust sometimes, and find that a lot of people move to the country because they want to be in the environment that is created by farming, and yet they don't really like the noise and the dust and the machinery.
We have a lot of commuters that go through the county, and sometimes they're not very patient when they're caught behind a slow-moving piece of machinery.
Hopefully there'll be some exchange there where we gain a better understanding and maybe have people learn a little bit more about what we do.
The county executive will be holding budget forums this week, with the last one Friday, February 4th at the Eastern Montgomery County Regional Services Center. These forums will give residents the opportunity to express their views on priorities for the upcoming fiscal year 14 operating budget. The forums will be held from 7 to 8:30 p.m. and you can visit our website for more information. Still to come on County Report This Week, we'll have double coverage of the area's Dr. Martin Luther King Day festivities. We'll be right back.
Are you sure they can recycle us, Clamshell?
Hey, Dome, we're on a new recycling postcard.
I can't wait to make a new start. Maybe I'll be a red carpet at a big premiere.
And I'll get to paint the White House.
Shh, here he comes.
Now you can recycle more plastics in Montgomery County, including #1 PET plastics such as clamshells, deli containers, trays, lids, domes, and cups.
Woohoo!
We're in!
For more information on recycling, contact the Montgomery County, Maryland Division of Solid Waste Services at 311. The wait is over. Recycle more plastics today.
If it wasn't for his doctor, he wouldn't be here.
If it weren't for Montgomery County Fire and Rescue, he wouldn't be here.
If it wasn't for the phone call, we wouldn't have been there.
If I didn't call, I don't know where we would be.
Montgomery County emergency responders are there when you need help at no cost to you. In an emergency, don't ever hesitate to call 911. If you live in Montgomery County, you will never get a bill or pay a dime.
So if you have an emergency, call us. We're there for you.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Welcome back. The 19th annual Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. tribute and celebration coincided with the official inauguration of President Barack Obama. MyMCMedia's Sonia Burke reports.
This celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. at the Strathmore is an annual event, one that local officials told us they look forward to each and every year.
I'd hammer in the evening all over this land. I'd hammer out danger.
The music, the messages, the opportunity to, again, recommit to service and to remembering all the battles that have been fought and the struggles that still remain, but also the victories. I think it's just an extraordinary day.
The 2-hour program included musical performances, a literary competition, humanitarian award, and more. The theme, His Dream, I Act, We Change.
It's very important, as I said before, to get the youth involved. They need to carry on. Most of us will be gone in a number of years, and we really need them to carry on. They are our future.
Dr. King was someone who truly was a role model for us all. He is someone that stood up when it wasn't easy to stand up, and he taught us that we all need to do that. That, when you say that somebody needs to do something, remember you're a somebody. You're the person that can do it.
That there will be world peace and that no one is shot. If the world was like that, I would like it a lot.
U.S. Congressman Chris Van Hollen reminded the audience that Dr. King himself was a victim of gun violence.
The terrible tragedies at Sandy Hook and Aurora and the kind of tragedies that happen on streets and in neighborhoods around the country every day are a reminder that inaction is no longer an option.
In fact, officials hope this tribute to Dr. King's dream inspires others to serve.
We have a tremendous number of people in Montgomery County who will roll up their sleeves and help their neighbors, but we do need more because some folks don't realize that we have a lot of our neighbors in need in Montgomery County are struggling.
In North Bethesda, for County Report this week, I'm Sonia Burke reporting.
The city of Rockville celebrated Martin Luther King Day at Richard Montgomery High School. The event featured an array of performances, speakers, and award winners. Rockville 11's Bridget Breuer has more.
May we dedicate today and the days that follow to his vision of human dignity and justice for all.
Montgomery College President Dr. DeRion Pollard was the keynote speaker at Rockville's annual MLK Day celebration.
Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, and what I loved about it reflected the diversity of the county. So we had dancers, we had singers, we had every hue and color on the stage. So it was absolutely a beautiful program.
The event, which is sponsored by Rockville's Mayor and Council and the city's Human Rights Commission, featured cultural performances that highlight Rockville's diversity while remembering Dr. King's legacy.
Well, I think what's important is that we recognize this coming together and honoring Dr. King is honoring not only him but his legacy. And the fact that in a city like Rockville we are a very diverse, a very multicultural, multinational community, and it really gives us an opportunity to get together and celebrate what we do but also advance the good that we are all part of.
Well, I think Rockville is incredibly diverse and it just enriches us. My daughters went through the school system here in Rockville, and I think they always benefited from that diversity. And it's just so nice to come together, and it just is a lot of fun to have all these different peoples here.
MLK Youth Award winner Kiana Waters reflected on Dr. King's work.
I really enjoy Dr. King's commitment to service in his community and for those around him. So that's what inspired me to go out. I traveled to Ecuador and also the Dominican Republic, and even more so just serving the people around me. You don't have to do anything huge, but I think the important part is just giving back in some way that you can.
This year's event included a viewing of the presidential inauguration, a moment that the attendees were happy to see on this national holiday.
Martin Luther King, in a sense, touched us all in our personal lives. It's a very special day.
Be sure to catch the production of the MLK Day event all this month on the city's website and on Rockville Channel 11. For County Report This Week, I'm Bridget Breuer.
Montgomery County Public School students excel because their teachers strive for excellence. One reason, an ever-increasing number of National Board certified teachers. MCPS TV has that story.
48 MCPS educators have joined the prestigious ranks of National Board certified teachers, widely viewed as the gold standard for educators. MCPS now has 665 teachers certified by the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards, significantly more than all other districts in Maryland.
So we're trying to locate them.
Educators earn the certification after completing a series of assessments during a year-long process that demonstrates that their activities, both inside and outside the classroom, strengthen student performance and contributes to their achievement.
The benefits of doing National Board certification is amazing because what you learn, it gets you to really reflect on your craft and really to think about doing it even better.
Well, National Board certification is an excellent opportunity for teachers to broaden their abilities. It really builds in the reflective piece. So they think about their practice, they improve their practice, and then they continue to grow in really a variety of ways.
The board certification process is open to qualified educators with a bachelor's degree and 3 years of classroom experience. The certificate is valid for 10 years.
MCPS leads Maryland school districts in the number of new National Board certified teachers and is ranked 6th nationwide. This week in our Spanish language radio show, Fire and Rescue Captain Oscar Garcia informed the community about the new Emergency Medical Service Transport Reimbursement Law that went into effect on January 1st. The law gives the county the authority to bill insurers for emergency medical transports. For those without health insurance, the ride is covered as a county taxpayer.
For the most part, I want to reassure the county residents that they have a first-class service in regards to ambulance transports, in regards to paramedics responding to their homes, and not to delay calling 911 for any reason, especially if you fear that there is going to be a bill. There's not going to be a bill associated with any transports to the hospital, so please feel free to call 911 for any type of emergency.
You may view the entire bilingual show by visiting the county's website, montgomerycountymd.gov. Coming up next on County Report This Week, dozens of Maryland students converged on the campus of Montgomery College. We'll tell you why when County Report This Week continues.
There's a reason why area law enforcement are out enforcing pedestrian and traffic safety laws and preventing killer pedestrian crashes. Be alert. Be street smart.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello? That's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. The 2013 Maryland Science Bowl took place at Montgomery College recently. Montgomery College student Brianna Hurwitz has our story.
Montgomery College recently hosted the 2013 Maryland Science Bowl on the Rockville campus. 40 high school teams participated in the Science Bowl round-robin competition. The rounds were 2 4-member student teams facing off, a panel of judges, and dozens of difficult science and math questions.
Math short answer. A right rectangular prism has two faces of area 8, two faces of area 9.
At the midpoint of the day, teams enjoyed hearing from Captain Heidi Marie Stefanation Piper, who spoke to the teams.
Scientists are the people that like to make discoveries. So they are the ones that go out there and find the new things. And what I like to say engineers do is engineers take what the scientists have found and do something practical with it. They make something out of it and make it so people can actually use it. What do you do with math and science? Why is math and science important, and why is it something that you want to go into, other than the fact that it really is fun? And I feel that I got to do a lot of the really neat things throughout my career, and it was all made possible because I decided to stick with an engineering degree.
As the competition continued, some teams advanced and others were eliminated, leaving just one team victorious at the end of the day. Science, engineering, and math certainly got a huge boost today as teams battled through the rounds. From Montgomery College, I'm Brianna Hurwitz for County Report This Week.
It was Rockville High School who won the first place trophy this year. Congratulations to them. Councilmember Valerie Irvin is challenging residents to live on a Supplemental Nutrition Assistant Program, or SNAP budget, for 1 week to gain perspective of what it feels like to live in poverty. Participants will only spend $5 a day on food. In October of 2012, close to 7% of Montgomery County residents participated in the SNAP program. This challenge will take place February 4th to 8th, and you can visit this website to sign up. Up next, for you history buffs, we'll have a new Civil War moment. And Kathy Stanhope will be here with our Pet of the Week. Stay with us.
Tim Christian, freshman star of the Montgomery College Raptors basketball team, has been named Maryland JUCO Student Athlete of the Month. Christian averages over 13 points a game and leads the team in steals while making the Dean's List with a 3.75 grade point average. MC has received a $105,000 Workforce Development Collaborative Grant from the Community Foundation for the National Capital Region. MC will use the funds to help low-income workers obtain a certificate for apartment maintenance technician and then secure employment. MC's Germantown Campus Library has received a grant from the National Endowment for the Humanities and the American Library Association for the Bridging Cultures Initiative. The grant will fund a year of programs at MC for the Muslim Journeys bookshelf.
Welcome back. And now it's time for another Heritage Montgomery Civil War moment. Our last installment looked at Confederate influences in the county. Moving on, we take a look at how events leading up to the Battle of Antietam came very close to home. Here's Barbara Grumbaum.
In 1862, as summer was coming to a close, the Confederacy launched its first major invasion of the North, known as the Maryland Campaign. General Robert E. Lee and his Army of Northern Virginia began moving into Maryland. The plan was to reach Pennsylvania and damage Northern morale in anticipation of the November election. Here on the Potomac River, just north of White's Ferry, is White's Ford. It got its name because Elijah White's Loudoun County farm was on the opposite shore. This is where, at certain times of the year, it's possible to wade across the Potomac. In fact, General Robert E. Lee and 35,000 men crossed here as part of the Maryland Campaign. They didn't know it yet, but they were headed towards the bloodiest single-day battle in American history, the Battle of Antietam. While Lee was moving into Maryland, Union General George McClellan and the Army of the Potomac passed through Rockville. McClellan spent the night of September 7, 1862, at the home of the Bell sisters. Their home, known today as the Bell Dawson House, is exhibit space for the Montgomery County Historical Society. As the armies advanced, troops from both sides fanned out across western Montgomery County. During the days leading up to the battle, clashes between Union and Confederate soldiers erupted in communities from Poolesville to Comus. On September 9, 1862, the tiny town of Barnesville experienced the war firsthand. Cavalries from Illinois and Virginia clashed repeatedly in and around the town. They charged back and forth along the main road, forcing townsfolk to hide in their cellars. By the end of the day, the rebels retreated, but not before the town had changed hands 5 times. 8 days later, Lee and McClellan met at Antietam in Washington County near Sharpsburg. Together, both sides suffered more than 23,000 casualties. Lee retreated the following day, ending the Confederate Army of Northern Virginia's first invasion into the North. For County Report This Week, I'm Barbara Grunbaum.
Our next installment will look at how people in this county help look after soldiers wounded at Antietam. For more information on the county's involvement in the Civil War, visit the Heritage Montgomery website and click on Civil War. Now it's time for our Pet of the Week segment with Kathy Stanhope.
Hi, this is Kathy Stanhope with your Pet of the Week at the Montgomery County Humane Society, and we are here with a very, very lovely lady here today. This is Layla. She is just about a year old, and she is just a beautiful pit bull mix. She is a sweet, sweet dog. She has been evaluated very well, and she's tested out beautifully. She's good with adults, she's good with kids, and she particularly likes the ladies for some reason. She is a little bit nervous in a new environment, so she's a little scared right now. She's never been on camera before, and she's not quite sure what to make of it. But she's very sweet, and she's very, very playful when she has a little bit more room to run around. She's a sweet girl, and as I said, she's just a year old. She will be spayed upon adoption. She is not spayed now, but she is wonderful, a nice-tempered dog, and she will make a wonderful family pet. So come visit Layla at the shelter. And remember, now that the holidays are over, you might still have some chocolate around. Chocolate is very bad for dogs. When you have a pet, you have to educate yourself. So go online, do a little research. You'll find out that chocolate and onions and even grapes are bad for dogs. And you have to be so careful with things like antifreeze. It sometimes leaks out of your car. Antifreeze is very, very sweet tasting, and dogs love to lap it up. And it's very poisonous. So take a few minutes. Go online, just type in things like poison for pets, and educate yourself a little bit more so you can keep your animals nice and healthy, like this little girl here. So come and see Layla down at the shelter here in Rockville. You can give us a call at 240-773-5967 or visit us on the web on mcumane.org. Meet Layla and come and get her and take her home. She's going to be your new very best friend. Right, girl?
In this week's Brookside Gardens Clips and Tips, our friends have some helpful hints for people who have yet to take down their Christmas lights.
All right, Jeff Patterson here, light show manager here at Garden the Lights, Brookside Gardens. We really appreciate everyone that comes out to see our show.
They're gorgeous. They're just absolutely beautiful.
We get thousands of visitors every year, and I just wanted to remind all you at home to make sure you take your holiday lights off every year. As the season gets really cold, everyone kind of forgets about it. Several years ago, to cut costs, our labor costs are the biggest thing that we have here for the Garden of Lights, as we tried to leave the lights on the tree. The horticultural manager and I walked around to many trees, and we decided we wanted to leave lights up for a growing season. And you can see here with all these ridges in the tree, this is from one year on this crepe myrtle tree, damage that we had after one season. So we automatically took them down, and that was 5 years ago. So you can see how it's grown out of it some, and we were lucky it didn't kill this tree. But this is the damage that could be done. So I know it's getting cold out right now, and the last thing you guys want to do is take your lights down, but make sure in the spring you get them down. If you wait that long, I would take them down as soon as you could after the season. The other thing to do is watch out, because the trees are real brittle, and so it's super cold outside. You want to be real careful taking them off so you don't break up your tree. That's all. Thanks a lot.
And some final notes. Until February 1st, residents may recycle their Christmas tree by placing the entire tree at the curb by 7 a.m. on their recycling collection day. For more information about Christmas tree recycling, visit montgomerycountymd.gov/recycling. And even though it is frigid outside, summer camp registration has begun. For more information on what's available for county kids this summer, visit montgomerycountymd.gov/rec. Well, that does it for this edition of County Report This Week. Be sure to tune in again next week for a look at what's going on inside Montgomery County. I'm Susan Kennedy. Have a great week.